Everybody needs to use zip ties when connecting things in their hobbies or trades. I have a pet peeve, and that is to always cut the tails of zip ties flush so that there's nothing left remaining that could cut somebody's tissue. But one of the things that's commonly neglected is the safety aspect of how to install a zip tie safely. Zip tie installation 101. Many people fail the test of safety when it comes to zip ties. Often neglected is what to do with the tail of the zip tie after you've installed it. Furthermore, I will offer a nice technique for tightening zip ties so they are not going to have a lot of slack and will remain in a position to hold things for years to come. The tools involved with this video are the side cutter, or also known as a pair of DIKES, a hemostat, which has a locking feature so the jaw can be held tightly shut, and of course the trusty zip tie. This is how not to cut your zip ties. Leaving a tail like this with a distance between the cutter and the locking head of the zip tie is taboo. If you cut your zip ties and leave a tail, you're leaving a safety hazard that can cut somebody or yourself. Here's a zip tie that's been inserted through its head and ready to cut. If you cut a zip tie off the way I'm showing, you're likely to cause injury to somebody else or yourself when they inadvertently grab the zip tie at the tail that's been cut at an angle or not flush with the head of the zip tie. When I cut this off now, it leaves a sharp edge. This is a perfect surface to cut somebody on. The sharp end of a zip tie that's been cut and left protruding without cutting flush to the head of the zip tie is a hazard. This surface is very sharp and can easily cause a laceration. A pair of side cutters or DIKES. The beauty of a pair of side cutters is fully developed when they cut a zip tie. A pair of hemostats with a locking feature. Zip tie or cable tie made of nylon material. And this is the locking feature on the head. The act of tightening a zip tie onto a tubular surface, in this case. It leaves a gap, but in order to get the zip tie nice and tight, you want to pull the tail of the zip tie until it compresses and eliminates all the slack. So I have the hemostats attached to the end, which I lock, and then I can just twist the hemostat until the gap is gone. This would be hard to do manually. Of course, they make a tool for tightening zip ties, but it's not necessary because the hemostats or even a pair of common pliers will work just fine. Cut right here at the zip tie's head, flush with the plane where the zip tie exits. Place the head of the side cutter flush up against the zip tie head. Then squeeze it. The final cut. This zip tie is flush. There's no tail.